How market? My country people, how market? How market now on our Monday program to showcase una different markets wey boku for markets all over Lagos, whether na clothes, home appliances, electronics, provisions, food store, and any type of goods wey you dey find. Name am. How market na the show for una. You go fit know where dem dey sell am and how much dem dey sell am. And if you be market seller and you dey find program to showcase your products, goods and services, na how market be the show for you o. Join us every Wednesday by 7:30 p.m. on your Ogbonge station for excellence, NTA Lagos Channel 10. For more inquiries, make una call.
Use your time well. No waka waka.
Tonight on the news, federal government steps up efforts towards availability and accessibility to vaccines for children. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu issues ₦1 million check each to 500 victims of clashes in Plateau State. Plus, latest in the world of entertainment. A very good evening to you, and it's good to have you join us on News at 7 on Nta Lagos Channel 10. I am Hanoluapo Oluwatoki. Nigeria's zero-dose learning hub and efforts at ensuring every eligible child anywhere in the country gets the needed vaccine against preventable diseases has been launched by the federal government. Oluseyi Adiagbo reports that the hub is to offer an extensive platform for all individuals engaged in the administration of immunization services across all levels of government.
Zero-dose prevalence refers to children who failed to receive any routine vaccination. UNICEF data on Nigeria shows that the West African nation is home to more than 2 million zero-dose children, and in Gavi's reports, the data is currently the largest number in the world.
The Nigeria Zero-Dose Learning Hub.
At this meeting in Abuja, the focus on zero-dose children is being re-engineered with a set target of closing immunization gaps.
The work that you will do here will generate evidence to guide reduction in the number of zero-dose cases.
Our goal is to reach 700,000 of them in the next 2 years.
The launch of the Zero-Dose Learning Hub is championed by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and development partners as Gavi. The Vaccine Alliance is set for a 4-year period of funding for the project.
Let us continue to work together until every child is protected against all vaccine preventable diseases. The Zero-Dose Learning Hub is hereby inaugurated.
It will improve immunization coverage and equity in Nigeria, learning what is working and learning what is not working and relearning.
Nigeria Zero-Dose Learning Hub serves as a vital platform for convening partners on a regular basis to build evidence-based effective strategies to reach and safeguard underserved children from vaccines-preventable diseases. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adiagbo, Nta News.
Meanwhile, the prospects of having new roofs over their heads after their homes were destroyed during recent clashes has become brighter for 500 residents of Mangu and 500 LGAs in Plateau State. This is made possible by the Renewed Hope Initiative, a pet project of Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, which donated ₦1 million to each of the victims. State House correspondent Nta Ch10 report that banks' checks made out in beneficiaries' name were presented to the state governor Caleb Mufwang by the First Lady at a ceremony attended by traditional rulers and security chiefs in the state, noting that it is not enough to offer sympathy and condolences in the aftermath of recent clashes in the state. The First Lady says the Renewed Hope initiative is taking concrete steps under a social investment program to help the victims resettle and have a new lease of life.
I urge you not to lose hope, but have faith, firm faith in God. At this juncture, I call on well-meaning Nigerians to offer assistance not only to the people of Plateau State, but to other states in Nigeria where citizens are in internally displaced persons IDP camps to relocate and rebuild their lives. Together we can make a difference in the lives of those who have suffered, and together we can build a better, more peaceful future for Nigeria.
Half of the beneficiaries, the state governor applauded the gesture and expressed gratitude to the First Lady for allowing her heart to go out in care and concern for those in need.
The use of this money and to ensure that the purpose for which Her Excellency intended it, that it is well executed.
Apart from Mango, beneficiaries were also drawn from Basa, Bakin-Ladi, Riom, Bokos, and Jos South local government areas in the state. Moving on, speakers of the state legislatures in the southwestern part of the country met at the Lagos State House of Assembly to discuss issues of common interest aimed at charting a new course for the progress of the zone ahead of the forthcoming conference of speakers of state legislatures, which gets underway in few days in Abuja. Musa Toliat completes the reports.
Speakers have common issues of concern, and coming together to review the progress made in legislative principles in the zone necessitates the meeting. Though it was a closed-door session, the speakers hint that deliberations revolved around the forthcoming Abuja meeting of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures, where a new leadership is expected to emerge.
We also discussed the coming election of the Speakers Conference nationally, so we have to go from home at least with one single voice. So we deliberated upon that, which the chairman has been seated to Southwest, and we have two people running from Southwest. We have Ogun from my right and Oyo to my left, both of them running for the same post. So we are trying to harmonize our decision before going for the election.
Discussions also focused on the development agenda for Western Nigeria as it relates to the economic progress in the region.
We discussed about DOM in Southwest as to the economic progress and development of Southwest. We are here for a conference meeting to decide on particularly about Southwest, about development agenda for Western Nigeria, about the coming election, and about the security in our zone, the region. These are the things that we have discussed. On how to have peer review and cross-fertilization of ideas among the legislatures in the Southwest.
Visiting the Lagos State House of Assembly creates a lasting impression in the mind of the speakers. The speakers lauded Lagos lawmakers for standing firm in their support for democracy, true governance, and sustaining a virile legislative arm of government in the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
In another development, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Halid Toure, has approved the deployment of 15 long-term election observers to monitor key stages in the electoral process leading up to the country's general elections on 10th October 2023. The deployment is consistent with provisions of Articles 12 to 14 of the 2001 ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance on Assistance to Member States holding elections. A statement by the ECOWAS Commission states the long-term election observers will be in the country until 15th October 2023 to observe the electoral processes and also serve as an early warning mechanism for preventive diplomacy. On 3rd October, the ECOWAS Observer Mission will be reinforced by 80 of the short-term colleagues, a combined observation mission led by Professor Atairu Jega, former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Nigeria will be deployed across Liberia's 15 countries, including the national capital, Monrovia. Lagos State Emergency Management Agency earlier in the day recovered a truck with unknown registration number which was involved in a solitary accident on Otedola Bridge in Berger. A statement on the incident released by the Permanent Secretary Lasema, Femi Oke Osointolu, the truck said to be heading inwards Otedola Bridge may have lost control and crashed into the side of the bridge. The driver compartment was found hanging down the bridge while some of the wheat products in its consignment scattered all over the road, blocking the entire route under the bridge inward Otedola Estate. A young adult male, said to be one of the occupants of the truck, fell off the bridge and lost his life. Lasema has since dispatched a crane and swift recovery operation completed to remove all forms of impediment for easy traffic flow. You're still watching News at 7 on Nta Lagos Channel 10. More to come after this time up. Please stay with us.
Rocket Spring from 1xBet. Take part in promotion with cool prizes. Bet on any sports events. Get tickets. Have a chance to win cool prizes. The more you bet, the greater your chances. Use promo code to get a welcome bonus right now. TRS Promotions, in collaboration with Ratau Lagos State Council and Lagos State Sports Commission, present.
Which time is it? You be loser now? Me loser. I bet let them do the way your hand is shake like that. Okay. Play for me. Which is this? You don't say respect. You just enter train. They go like that. This is the Lagos State wide champion in draft of all categories. That is him. I beg, just give me 10 minutes. I go beat him. You know that this thing that you are playing for pleasure can make you a millionaire. Wow. The first international Lagos State draft competition is coming up. Yeah. The first prize is 3 million naira. The second prize 2 million naira, and the third prize is 1 million naira. To purchase your ticket, go to www.windraftgame.com or directly from all local government area in Lagos State, Area Ticket, and many other ticket agencies. TRS, join the fun.
Glad to have you back. You're still watching News at 7 on Nta Lagos Channel 10. President Bola Tinubu shares in the pain of loss for the family, friends, and associates of the doyen of accounting in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa, Chief Akitola Williams, who passed away on Monday at the age of 104 years old. President Tinubu sympathizes with the government and people of Lagos and Ogun State, the Institute of Chartered Accountants, ICANN, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and all the financial institutions that were founded by the centurion, who had lived an admirable life of charity with an impactful influence on future generations. The President Tinubu affirms that Oloye Williams epitomized integrity, resilience, and resourcefulness, which was amply demonstrated when he established the first accounting firm, Akitola Williams & Co., Deloitte & Touche, by an African in 1952, which inspired self-confidence in a generation of professionals who would make further impact in strengthening transparency and competence in the accounting profession. President Tinubu notes that the historic role played by the first indigenous chartered accountants in the public service, having served at various times as the chairman of the Federal Income Tax Appeal Commissioner, member of the Coker Commission of Inquiry into the Statutory Corporations of the former Western Region of Nigeria, member of the Board of Trustees of the Commonwealth Foundation, and as a chairman of the Public Service Review Panel to correct the anomalies in the Udoji Salary Review Commission, President Tinubu praised that the Almighty God will receive the soul of Oloye Williams and call forth his beloved family. And now to entertainment news. Nigerian comedian Nta Ch10, popularly known as Real Worry Pekin, has urged the federal government to ensure accessibility and affordability of therapies for Nigerians experiencing suicidal crisis or those bereaved by the menace. These and more in the world of entertainment as we join Ezra.
Megastar Davido announced that he is moving the dates for his 2023 European tour, which is scheduled for Q4 2023 to Q1 2024. In the statement released via his social media handles, Davido stated that the postponement would give him and his team more time to sort out the production hitches they are facing to give fans a better show. Davido also announced that his Manchester show will be his last European show for 2023. Davido released his highly anticipated fourth album, Timeless, on 31st March 2023, which went on to break multiple Nigerian streaming records. European fans will be looking forward to Davido performing the songs from his new album when he returns on tour in Q1 2024. Meanwhile, Nigerian comedian Nta Ch10, popularly known as Real Worry Pekin, has urged the federal government to ensure accessibility and affordability of therapists for Nigerians experiencing suicidal crisis or those bereaved by the menace. The comedian, who revealed that in June 2018 she attempted suicide, said suicide is real and must be taken seriously. She said it was time the government and every individual stood up to ensure that it is checked and victims gain access to therapists within the country. The comedian advised Nigerians to cultivate the habit of checking on their loved ones and always form the habit to use kind words when communicating with people. On the foreign scene, popular American rapper Cardi B has finally addressed the microphone hurling incident. Speaking during an interview on The Breakfast Club, she defended her actions by stating that she threw the microphone on impulse. She added that she initially did not want to address the incident because of the battery charges leveled against her in August. The rapper went further to explain what transpired that day because she had different versions of the story and wanted to clear the air. She confirmed the reports that she asked the audience to splash water on her because of the scorching sun. The only condition Cardi B gave was for them to avoid her face because of the makeup. And that's it on entertainment news. I am Ezra Mo.
Many thanks. And on our foreign scene, stolen Van Gogh painting recovered 3 years later. Emmanuel Francis has details. Foreign news.
March 2020 is back in safe hands after a 3.5-year quest to recover it. Dutch art detective Otto Brand said he had been handed the 139-year-old painting in a pillow and an IKEA bag by a man who came to his front door. I did this in complete coordination with Dutch police, and we knew this guy wasn't involved in the theft, he said. But by then, the painting worth several million euros had already changed hands. According to information from the Dutch police, the Van Gogh painting from 1884, also known as Spring Garden, had been acquired by a crime group intending to use it in exchange for shorter jail terms. Moving on, France began first major anti-incest campaign in 2 decades. A shocking high rate of familial child abuse. The French government had come under intense pressure to toughen legal sanctions against incest perpetrators. The French government launched a major campaign to tackle incest and sexual violence suffered by 160,000 children every year. According to French Secretary of State for Children Charlotte Cobal, the campaign, the first of its kind in France, talks about the figures: a child is sexually assaulted every 3 minutes and highlights the trauma. These are acts that destroy children. This is the first time a government has used the word incest in a campaign. The first time it has talked about sexual violence within the family, she said. And that is it for the foreign news. I am Emmanuel Francis.
Away from foreign news, happens the sport updates with Olumide Eguntala.
Minister of Sports Development Senator John Eno is to commence engagement with all sports federations in the country Tuesday as he continues to holistically assess the state of all federations with a view to enhancing the sector. This is part of series of strategies the minister is employing to reposition sports in the country, including the withdrawal of all sports cases in court. In another news, coach Randy Wardrum is on his way out of the Super Falcons team after his employers declared his position vacant. In para sports, the duo of Foluke Shitu and Kafayat Omishuri are bronze medalists at the maiden edition of African Para Games after defeating their counterpart from Tanzania in the wheelchair tennis event at the games held in Ghana. In wrestling, President Nigeria Wrestling Federation Daniel Igali says his team's target is medal sweep as the country prepares for the World Wrestling Championship in Serbia. The event is scheduled for the 16th to 22nd September. In another development, about 2,500 runners from various parts of the world, including 42 elite runners, participated in the third edition of the 10-kilometer Abeokuta race. Tagged Strides of Pride, the race took off at Yanoloke and terminated at the Alake's Palace.
I'm proud to compete with the Nigeria athletes, and I'm proud to compete with our Kenyans. If we get sponsors for this Nigeria, we will beat these Kenyans one day.
We can move on to create a running culture that will keep improving. Kenya's Peter Manki finished first in a time of 28 minutes 14 seconds, while Francis James emerged as the first Nigerian man in a time of 31 minutes 08 seconds. With sports update, Olumide Eguntala, Nta News.
On that note, we wrap up the news at 7 on Nta Channel 10. The Mika Mekpe is standing by for the good translation of the news. I am Nta Ch10. Good evening.
Mechile mekwabo mekudo wajai lilena semiteso NTA Channel 10 etinto awani imaten teju Mika Mekpe we lileno. Tukpa jije na domondo yopogunle to gbo Nigeria to me ime yeyi oyedo na mena na do sogamondo ye wura ye so efe awutu temeteme le kodo na maison temeteme le to o gandudu ehe to gbo Nigeria to daliwe ye koze tito ehne boda ina do sogamondo yeyi oyedo na mena yopogunle po 18 to gbo Nigeria to me na do hunre ye pour nado grand ye son autu pour la maison temetemele si olusheye adiagbo basi bedido to amasinkun ene dalido ye kozi amasinkun do ehin do to kwe temeteme 18 to go Nigeria tome nado so gamondo yo pobule po to go Nigeria tome imehe I amasinkun ene podoga me yo yen do la mene to go Nigeria tome. Osenho Dr. Aimate leton hetinto wezide dali podaga ehin okuwaji ton dali we yekobasi oprido poto Aimate awoni tome dogbon titore na monu kan yi ehin Aimate temeteme hetinto wezide dali leton dali we yekoze temeteme boda yi na do so gamondo yebasi onuheje kredide 18 to ose tome podaga kẹ́lẹ́ tètè tó yé tọmẹdó wẹ̀yẹ kó wá bó sọ̀gán ṣẹ̀ta tó pọ̀ bó bá sí tìtò náà nìkan yìí àjọkó lẹ́ẹ̀tàn tó ẹ̀hẹ́yìn àyímátẹ̀ nǹkan tí tó wòzìdẹ̀ dàrí kódọ̀ okuwaji daliwe yeba si tito ene eheyin o sezo wa to hele tindo onunde do kondo pome heyin na do so gan pon azon he ye ko wa to godume wayi kedi de eje do puro na do so gan pon eheyin onu yanwle ye ton to wenu vunde epo to nu kombo ye to na zan we ye ko ba si tito ene ye do to ye so ba si tito na do so gan mondo ye le kere dide eje do pata eheyin o pri he na wa ayime na ye to abuja si ayima teme podoga na ye so gan mondo ye ba si tito heje podoga to awuso ye ne me ye na ba si ovodidede tebo ye na zoze nu konto yoyo devo he na no plan eto tito ye ton leme eheyin o sedo wa to etinto togbo nigeria tomele po we na so awo ya to pri ten ene to abuja òwe dídó lọ́sọ̀ pàtà ekeyin nìkan yìí wèzìzẹ̀ dàlí lẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ sí àjọkó kpọ́dọ̀ àjọkó lẹ́ẹ̀kọ́dọ̀ nàdúmọ̀dọ̀ nìkan yìí tí n tó ònú wíwá ẹnẹlẹ́mẹ̀. àwọn ènìyàn má tẹ̀ sí ògbẹ́ píprí ẹnu pẹ̀lú fún ònú jíjọ àjèjì lẹ́gọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀tọ́ tìtòbá sí kpọ́dọ̀ kẹ́rìndé ẹjọ́dọ́ tó àzánpẹ́dẹ́ gòdò wáyé mọ́tò ẹ̀yìn òṣòwò àlejò dàhó iná bẹ àgbàdé wẹfúlẹ bọblé àlìyé tán sún àlìyéjì èjẹnádòsùn bí àlìyòdèvọmẹ he zọmbọ nùdìjọ àjèjìdẹjọ tó fúnẹ bọ ehẹyìn òun kún tọlọwẹ yédọ e bá sí mẹyẹmàtì tọ bọ ehẹyìn jọjọjọ àdèvò tó òun lọmẹ ẹsọsùn àgbà òun ẹnẹmẹ wẹ̀yẹ sọ́dọ̀ yẹmọ òchíọ ètàn tó àlì eheyin àlì ọ̀tẹ́dọ́là tọ́jú etí tó bẹ́gàwájí òkòdìdọ̀ òwe gbójúnàtọ̀ ògbẹ́ pípírí lọ́tàn ẹnẹ làṣẹ́màtàn fẹ́mi òkè ọ̀sẹ̀ ìtọ́lá dọ̀ kódógbọ̀n lójijọ́ ẹnẹ dàlídọ̀ lójijọ́ ehejọ́ ná eheyin òhun inú bẹ́ àgbà ẹnẹ dọ̀ òwe tọ́sán àlìhò ẹjẹ̀ ná ẹnigbọ̀n jíbíọ́ àlìhò dẹ́fọmẹ́ to wee nenuwe efule ajedo bo agba hetin to ohun enele po we gba do aliji bo igo maso vi bibasito ekeyin aliho loji gburaga to pon oloji we ye sodo ekeyin ogbe pipri lasematan koto le jena yi ni basilo na do so gamodo ye be onu enele sun aliji na igo gbetan nidoyi keredi de ejedo yedo yokpovun doko yedo jonjoja doko to ohun eneme we so basi martin to wonu na onu jijo enejo mechera mi hafo na wejaye ton kaka jeso mi na so pi bika me pe we leleno eiza
Thank you.